If you could travel through time, pick up any historical figure you wanted to, and take them to populate a new planet, who would you take? Well, that's the premise in World Changers. Hey everybody, I'm Garcia, and in this game, you are going to be drafting cards that represent specific historical figures. You are going to be taking those, placing them in front of you, triggering special abilities, looking for interesting combinations of powers, and ultimately trying to be the one who wins by having the most victory points. As I said, the theme is sort of sci-fi. You're technically flying in a spaceship, picking up these people and taking them Bill and Ted style, I guess, to this new world in which you're going to start over again. And that theme really doesn't make a lot of sense, but the game's idea is an interesting one. Having all these characters and their, special abilities and trying to make those things sort of thematic. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at how it works. It's a very small game, pretty straightforward concept, and then I'll see you on the other side for some final thoughts. So to set up the game, and here we're going to be looking at a game for 3 players. Everybody has one of these chips with a normal side and a passing side. That always looks the same on the passing side. We're going to shuffle up the deck of cards, and we're going to build a deck that has 6 cards per player. So 18 in this case. The rest of these are going to set aside. And then you are ready to begin by dealing each player 2 cards that are in their hands. And then we reveal 3 from the deck here. So the game is played until everyone passes sequentially or all of the cards are gone. And then you score all the cards in front of you, all of your crewmates. Whoever has the highest score, of course, is the winner in the game. So the cards have a point value at the top, sometimes a negative one, sometimes usually a positive one. And then they will have a type of ability. If it is this symbol right here with a little hand pointing like this and a blue stripe, that means that it is something that is triggered when you play that card, when you take it and deploy it, and it becomes your crewmate. This one here in purple has a little flag. It's endgame scoring. And then this one is just something you need to check because it triggers, well, whenever it says it triggers. All right? On your turn, you are going to do one of 2 things. The first one you can do is pass. And then check if any of the cards, like this, of this kind, say you should do something when you pass. There's very few of those, but you should check those. So you can pass. You flip this over, and then when it comes back around to you, unless everyone passed in a row, you just flip this back over and go again, or pass again. The other option is, of course, to play a card. When you play a card in front of you, you can play one of the 2 in your hand, or you can play one of these, and they apply to everybody. Anyone can take these. So let's say, for example, that I want to play Marco Polo over here. So Marco Polo is worth 1 victory point at the end. It has an ability that says when you have to move one of your crewmates, you may move this card in its place. Okay, so it's likely to protect some of my other characters from being taken, things like that, fine. So I'll take it, I play it in front of me again, and if it has one of these abilities, I would apply that now. And then I have to replenish the center, and that happens from my hand. So I'll take a card from my hand, I put it there, and then I bring my hand total back up to 2. And then it'll be the next player's turn. And so they'll go. They might, now that I played this out, they might take Abraham Lincoln here, and they'll play that. It says select another player's crewmate and place it into the void. The void is this area here in the center. So they play that, then they bring the center back up to 3, but it is at 3. And so they don't have to do that, and so they just hang on to their 2 cards. And this is going to continue. This player over here might play this one, and it says choose another player's crewmate to become part of your crew. They might want to do that. They probably don't. This is a negative point card. But let's assume they want to do that. They could play that. They could take this one, put it in front of them. This will not trigger this bottom power. When you play a card that says take another one, if you are just taking it from someone else or taking one from the center, the power on that one isn't going to trigger. It's only when you first recruit someone from your hand, okay? So they'll take that, and then they are down to 1 card in their hand. The center is fine, so they just draw 1 to bring themselves back up to 2. This continues until the game is over, like I said. and then whoever has the most points is the winner. So let's take a look at some of these cards, all right? So that we see what's going on and some of the general effects that you're likely to see. So this one, exchange this card with a crewmate of another player. It's worth 4 victory points, so you have to be careful when you do this because, well, you're giving up 4 points. Hopefully you're getting something better than that, or like, developing into a combo that's better than that. Select the card in the void to become your crewmate. This one here is a scoring card, which is if you have 4 or fewer crewmates, then you're going to gain 5 victory points as a special bonus. This one says when you pass, the game ends immediately. So this is a pretty strong game-changing kind of card. Player of your choice has to pass next turn. You cannot pass on your next turn. Very strong move if you want to shut someone down for a turn for whatever reason. And again, lots of combos here that you'll, as you play and gain experience with the game, kind of rise to the surface. This one, select another player, add one of their crewmates to your crew. We've got Cleopatra here. You can never pass, even if another card directs you to do so. Place all of your, this one's insane, place all of your crewmates, other than this one, into the void. But he's worth 7. So getting some of these really powerful cards that are negative points, and then dropping that, and getting those victory points, the negative ones, out of your way, can be pretty powerful stuff. So there you go. Lots of different things, as you can see. And again, this isn't even all the cards, because you'll never play with an entire deck. You cannot card count in this one. You'll never know quite what's missing. So there you go. That's enough of an idea for you to understand more or less what's happening in the game. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of it. That is World Changers here. Something of a micro game, right? A game that has very few moving parts. And overall, I think it works very well. It's an engaging game. I like the discovery process in the game was very fun, sort of becoming familiar with it. And then exploring that further has also been very fun. So this is a good one. I'm enjoying it. Let's go ahead and break it down a little bit more, shall we? The main negative here for me, it's not really a negative, it's just sort of a say what now sort of idea, is the theme and the setting. It's a very bizarre premise. As they put it in the rule book here, who would you take to another planet if Earth was no longer inhabitable? What if you could pick people from long bygone eras? You are the captain of an interstellar spaceship and you need to assemble a crew in order to make life sustainable on a new planet. Okay, it's really bizarre, but I get that they needed an excuse to bring historical figures together from very different time periods, so sure. No one will ever reference, I think, while playing the game, the idea that you are plucking them from history. It's a what-if scenario. You just sort of go with it, right? Everything else I do enjoy. The aesthetics here are good. I love the art. I think it's very nice. These poker chips are clearly overproduced and don't need to be this nice, but they are very nice, so no problem there. I do wish the cards were thicker. I think the cards are definitely a little bit on the thin side. They're a little floppy. They just feel a little thin. So that would have been good, especially since there's so few. I would have loved to have seen the quality of these kicked up a notch. They do include, this is like one of those above and beyond things that I think is very nice. They include this booklet that shows you the historical figures and tells you a little bit about them, what time period they're from, a little bit about the power in the game and why it was chosen, what it means to represent. I think this is very nice. It's a nicely produced book too, so that's a lovely touch. Replay value, lots of neat combos in here. It's got a sort of an emerging gameplay that stays interesting, stays at a peak, at a high, engaging, mentally stimulating place. So I really like the replay value. You're never going to see all the cards, even with the max of 4 players. Some of the cards are still not in the deck, okay? And I like that. So And I thought it was really interesting because the first time I played, the very first game was with 3. And I thought, I really like this. This is interesting. It's engaging. But I think when you drop it down to 2, it's going to lose something. There's going to be too many cards missing, and it's going to feel that threat of, I pass, you pass, game's over too quickly. I thought that might be problematic. And I'm happy to say that is not the case. The game works really well at 2 players. It becomes a little more chess-like. This idea of, well, if I take that, I have to make this available. And I'm looking at what's going on over there. They will probably take, because I know more than half their hand of cards, right? They have access to 5 cards. I know what 3 of them are. They'll probably take this. How do I react to that? What do I make sure I don't play on the table and make available to my opponent because it's too good for the kind of strategy and combination they're building up? It's very engaging, very interesting. Okay, game arc. It's quick, it's punching. It's got a surprising amount of reversals of fortune and highs and lows for being such a short game. I love games like this. I like games that can pack a lot into few components and a short playtime. I revel in that kind of experience. Ease of play. It's good. You know, we didn't come across any questions that we weren't able to figure out. I think the rulebook is well written. Like I said, I love this. This isn't gameplay. This isn't tied to what's going on in the gameplay, but it's nice. The rulebook is well written. I had no questions. We couldn't figure out. Nothing stomped us. So no problems there. I like it. Lastly, tactics, luck, strategy. There's certainly luck in the deck of cards. You don't know what's in there. You could be trying for something, especially when you know the game well, hoping for someone to come up in the deck that isn't in the deck. That could happen. So I don't think if you're luck adverse, I don't think you're going to be okay with the way that you can't count on what's in there. But I find the game very highly tactical. It's reactionary in many ways. You are seeing what's going on and reacting to that in the best way possible. You're also looking for interesting combos, and I think, again, that the tactical nature of having something in front of you and then seeing a new card go into your hand or come onto the void in the center of the table and going, ooh, that's a great combo. I gotta just make it back to my turn. I'm gonna pluck that. The turn angst of waiting for somebody to take that away from you, maybe. It really works. It's engaging. And again, I think the interest in the game stays high from the very first round and sort of what you put in motion with your first play to the final one, because many of the cards are the kinds of cards folks will avoid because their strategy really is at odds with that card, and they start to get sort of trailed. Those cards stick around the void for a while. And as the game wraps up, if not everyone passes, someone's going to take it. So I really like that. And it feels well balanced. The scores always come out to an interesting, I haven't seen blowouts. In fact, the first game I played several times with 2 players. The first game was a tie, and it came down to a tiebreaker. So that's enjoyable. Now, again, the game is one that rewards repeat plays. But if you don't like the core idea, or if you're one of those people who just isn't really loving the micro game sort of style anymore, then yes, I think you'll be a bit bored by seeing the same characters over and over. I like it. I like that discovery because it's multi-layered. It's sort of just, oh, look at these characters. I know these people from history, okay. And the next one is, that's a cool power. And the next one is, that's a cool power that works really well with this other power over here. And it just sort of keeps building from there. So I enjoy that. Overall, what I'm saying is, for me, this is a winner. It packs a lot of gameplay into a small box. It's enjoyable. It's engaging. Love the look. Yeah, I wish the quality of the cards was higher. I do wish there were more cards that did something when you passed. It seems like the rulebook kind of sold it as, when you pass, trigger all the cards to do something when you pass. And I thought there would be more mechanically more interest there. There's not really, but I still can't deny that I really enjoy it. So this is going to get a strong 8 out of 10 from me. That is a seal of approval, folks. And if you want a neat little combo-rific card game for 2 to 4 players, I would definitely recommend this one. Look into it. That is World Changers, everybody. My name is Z Garcia. Thanks for checking this out with me. I'll see you on the next one.